button. Alrighty. And then hit that button. Alright, we'll do this for a couple of, well, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then we'll be jumping into some roadcraft. Now, I played through quite a bit on that other game, 9 hours worth. It was all right, but to be honest, I got bored of it kind of a little quickly. A little bit, not a lot, just a little. Mostly because it kind of holding the button down for so long kind of hurt my hand. Holding down and like shaking the mouse. It's kind of like playing a Wii game. So I swapped over to relaxed mode, and as you can see, I've been playing that for a while as well. Also called it free candy so that it's on the side of the van. It's the relaxed mode. I hope that they add an option in to adjust the settings, like a custom mode, and also to allow you to change it mid-game, because I had to start a whole new game to swap to relaxed mode. There's no way to change a normal game to a relaxed game. Relaxed is good in the sense that I don't have to worry about the time limit. Like the timer hits was like 6 o'clock, and normally you'd have to end the day. In this one, it doesn't matter. You can just keep going. However, it will be nighttime wherever you are, at least for that map and maybe another one. And then it's kind of like it's like dawn. It gets sunny. Really weird. I don't know why the light suddenly changes when I look this way. So you can kind of see a bit better. But it means that you can do all the contracts pretty much. So you don't miss out on anything. And it's fun. Unfortunately, I can't turn on fines or anything, so I don't get negatives essentially. It's just not an option. I'd like to be able to turn those on. And the crafting or deconstructing mode is automatic at this point. You just hold the left click down and it just does it for you and swaps between each item. I don't know. I feel like I'd like to be able to just hold the button down on something instead of having to jiggle the mouse. But I do like to be able to like look at the object myself and find the things I need to deconstruct. So it'd be good if there was like a hybrid mode of that. Anyway, I'm on tier 3 now, so I can't actually afford 4. No, I need more contracts. And I've kind of adopted the understanding that recyclable materials is probably worth close to the same as trying to collect the items, like the bricks, for instance, and then sell them on an order. The orders are a pain in the butt, honestly. It's actually way cheaper and easier, quicker for me to just destroy when it's it's just to destroy walls. When it's a demo the house one, like this one, demolish house, destroying the entire house as rubble is more cost effective for me and time saving. I don't bother collecting most of the resources. You can still get all the wood too, because the wood still falls out. And I have a decent amount of that at the moment. But I won't get bricks generally, but then they're heavy, and as you can see, I already have a bunch. I don't usually bother picking up all the rubble and all the loose items anymore. Only the stuff that's particularly valuable, because if you look at these, they all have different amounts. That one's crap. I ran out of things to put in it. If there's piggy banks are often worth more. Like you'll find a piggy bank, it could be worth like nothing, or it could be worth like $200, depending on how much I guess is supposed to be in it. Otherwise, electronic devices seem to be the only things that are worthwhile sticking in these, because even though it says there's like worth 169, I won't sell it for that much. I'll be able to sell it for maybe, if it was on its own, probably like $130, $120, because no one wants to buy it at full price. You know, just like real life, I guess. And honestly, the orders are a bit ridiculous. Like one TV for 45 bucks, but if I accept the order, the minimum delivery is $5. So I'm only getting 40 bucks there. Assuming this is a common TV, if it's a premium one, the thing doesn't fit in the $5 van. You have to get at least the $10 one, I think. Maybe it's 15. So you lose out money there as well. So half the time these things aren't even worth it. Common windows, 35 bucks for 2 of them. I mean, it's not bad. And there's only common windows. I was hoping there'd be premium and stuff like with the doors. No, they're all common. They're not worth getting out most of the time. You need to be able to store them and then you wait for someone to buy them. Like these, like that's a premium door and a premium TV. Like this premium TV is $87. I have one of those. Let me go and show you the size of it. That's the friggin' TV, right? Look at that size. It's $250. I do not get $250 for that. And look at its size. That does not fit in a normal van. By the way, I have the big van. I don't know if you can swap these around, but I now have the big van as well. So, one that you can literally walk through without having to crouch in. Just, I'd like to swap it for this one because I don't want to have to keep running around the corner. I'm also a little disappointed. I just upgraded the warehouse. There's no extra bay, no gate. I was expecting there to be another gate over there, and there isn't. So that's a bit disappointing. I don't know how you add those. Probably the third level will give it, but it doesn't tell you that. It just tells you this square size capacity, and you can't add it by editing either. I did find out you can store partially filled brick things in here, and they weirdly stack on top of each other. If you got like 4 of them and they've all got part bricks on them, you can't take the bricks off, which is annoying. They need to make it so you can. Because I put down one on either side of the wall to be sneaky, and then I used the sledgehammer, which I can't bring out here, to smash the wall, and they fall, well, not smash, but, you know, take the bottom layer of the bricks out, and the rest fall onto the pallet and automatically fill it up. But if they're not full like this one, get the straps, you can't sell them. You can pick them up and you can still move around like they're not heavy, unlike this one, which is super slow and heavy. But you can't do anything with these until they're full. So I just stick them back there and I stack them on top of each other, and they stack as though they're empty, which is really weird. These are the doors. I think I've only got premiums at the moment. I haven't been bothered to get anything that's not premium most of the time because, like, those commons aren't worth it. 20 bucks versus 100. I won't be able to sell that. I'll sell that for like $8, you know. So I didn't bother with those. I got all these extra racks, and you can see they're either premium or rare, except for that one common up there. I don't know why that's there. But as it turns out, you kind of have to get a collection of all of them. I'm not taking the break. I'll take my break when I swap over games. Because they're like, that's common. You kind of need to pick up the commons, otherwise you can't fill out these orders, which is weird. But at the same time, like, my rating is 5 stars. I should get way more wealthy clients and whatnot, and the wealthy clients too. 2 common items for a wealthy person. It means they pay more for them generally, but it doesn't mean they want more quality items. You would think you'd be able to give them, well, sell them the quality items more often. Nope. It's not worth, like, collecting specific items just because of their value, their rating value. It's better to, if you want to do the orders, it's better to actually, like, find out what you need, like, oh, I need a common door, and get that from the thing. The problem is, you kind of have to write them down. What they should do is, if they want you to do these orders, instead of accept the order, have a button next to it as well that says, like, bookmark the order, or, you know, something along those lines, where it'll keep track of that item. And I don't know, maybe have it listed under the order number and then the item that's missing. again, 3 items that are missing. It doesn't need to show the ones you've got, I guess. Maybe it can show you that too. And have that listed, say, in... I don't really know where you can see it. Tablet? I think there's a tablet, isn't there? Have that listed anyway, so that you can see it whilst you're out deconstructing. Because I don't think about the items over here when I'm on the site. That's why I've only been picking up the premium and the rares. It'd be nice to know what to look for without having to literally write them down on a piece of paper. That's the only way I can do it at this point in time. I didn't actually accept any of those contracts, did I? I want to do a demolish. These aren't that, like, they don't take very long because you just have to take a bunch of items in this one. Move corner sofa. I haven't had that before. You have to move things to another room. Those ones aren't difficult for me either. They do take a little while though. Just because you've got to clean up the mess and move it all in your van. Now I had the big van, probably won't be so bad. These ones have retrieves, and the retrieves just go on the back of the other van, like the client's van as it is. So I don't have to worry about those items, but it also means I don't get those items. Whereas I can take these, but I mean, unless I'm looking for the toilet, the shower, or the washing machine, I'll take the washing machine because it's premium. It's not really worth me worrying about. Pretty much if I want to, I'd have to go through these orders and figure out what I need from them. So common door is pretty easy to find actually. A premium sofa. I have to go through and see, is there a premium sofa in the take? Which is kind of a hassle to have to go through them all. No. There's no premium sofa, I can't do anything about that one. And even though some of the orders are like 3 days, it's just like, do you really want to risk it? Because there's no guarantee you're going to get a sofa in those times. So, I don't know. It's a little... I feel like it needs a little bit of a touch-up, because at this point, I don't really care about what the orders need. As you can see, like, I've got all the items I need for that, plus a few extras. I'm just collecting anything that seems valuable, and then destroying the rest of it. You know what, I might actually do this one. I was going to do a demolition, but yeah. You take a penalty to your reputation. And if that gets too low, you lose the game, I'm pretty sure. Though I don't know if that happens in relaxed mode. But yeah, you need a certain amount of reputation to take the job. So if my reputation drops too low, I can't even take the jobs. So you lose. You would not be able to take contracts, and if you can't take contracts, you can't earn money. Can't earn money, you can't pay your bills. That's all it comes down to. And it's the same with the reputation in here. You need to have a required reputation to sell the items to people. And failing these will lose reputation as well. So it is important not to fail those, which is why I only take ones I can succeed in. And did that have any... That was just takes, right? Take. Yeah. So I don't want to take the bucket with me. I don't need to. I will, however, take the big van. I don't know if you can swap vehicles into the main room or not, but I really wish you could. Yep. I know. This isn't going to take me more than 20 minutes. I'm just grabbing a couple of things or destroying them and moving a couple of things. I ran out early on the previous game because it only had 2 levels and a tutorial. So I had to jump into this. Alright, I only need to take, I don't need to retrieve. Alrighty then. Take or destroy coffee table, which is this one right here. You got to make sure you get the right one. I had one on one game. I actually had one that was get 2 dresses. And it looked like it was... I didn't read it right. I looked like it was in one room. It was just in general. So there was one in one room and one in another, and I couldn't find the other one. Almost grabbed the wrong dresser. And I've had it where there was like 2 coffee tables or whatever, and one's a lower quality, and you got to get the right quality. I'm going to take this, and all I have to do to take it, like in relaxed mode, is literally hold the button down and just click every time there's a new thing come up. Not the same as the other one where I had to shift the camera around and find the item before I could pick it up. Well, I mean, I'd like the hybrid mode of that where it'll still auto pick it up, but I have to move the camera around to find what I'm looking for. Take that. And then the other 4 items are in the bedroom, which is weirdly through a kitchen. I mean, I've seen worse designs than that, but still. Yeah, those things there are the things that are more valuable than, like, say, books that are $8. They're the only things worth picking up. Does this count as... It does count as the bedroom. So I need to take or destroy the bed, the office chair, which is a premium, oh sorry, a rare, the table, which is a rare, and the wardrobe, which is a common. And you can't destroy the items in the wardrobe. You gotta take them out. No. I wasn't done there. Because if they fall on the ground, they will break. Most likely. And I may as well pull this one apart. I don't know why that door closes on relaxed mode. Just while you do the first one. The second one, it opens up again. Do. That music's already running, but it's quiet. I was going to change it over, but I was waiting for the last game to be over. I will change it. That was weird. I'll change it over for Roadcraft. Why is it... That's weird. Not working for some reason sometimes. They did an update, but the update, I already played the game and it didn't have any issues, so I don't know where this is coming from. Yeah, look at that. It's just getting stuck. Maybe they made it... No, you don't have to be clicking on it. You just have to hold the button in. Weird. Yeah, not having to shake the mouse for that is actually pretty good, though. Strip screws, yeah, exactly. But it's alright. It turns out that no matter what quality the parts are in, when I put it into the box, it's just labeled as whatever rarity it is. Because I found a premium kitchen set, pretty much, that was all scratched up and nasty. But you pull it apart and it still gets the premium written on the box. Doesn't say, like, damaged or anything like that. Really weird. I don't really need to try to fit this in, but... I mean, the game is Tetris-based. Makes me want to do it. Why won't you fit there? It's not perfect, but I don't care. Some of the boxes do fit in perfectly. I have a few new games to play as well. Oxygen Not Included is one of them because I've been wanting to play that for a while with all the DLCs. Turns out a new DLC came out recently-ish and I haven't seen anything about it yet. So I am curious to see what that's going to be about. That's going to be a long-running series of a game. So I'm not going to start that just yet. I also have a few demos to check out. Humans was one of them. Stupid humans. I'd like to check out Drive Beyond Horizons at some point too. I know I've seen a lot of people play it. I mostly just kind of want to play it in a challenge-like way, where you have to challenge yourself to try and do a certain thing in the game, like only use parts for a specific car or something. Just for the fun of it. Alright, so I've done all of those except to take or destroy the bed. And it also wants me to move the living room sofas, wrong button again. So those two there into the bedroom. I'm just going to stick this in here. And I don't really want to take this bed, but I also, yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I also don't want to destroy anything by accident, so I'm just going to stick it all in the van and deal with it later. I don't really have the space for it, so I might just recycle it all. I don't know if you get the same amount for recycling it or not. I actually need to test that. If it's the amount that it's worth in recycling, I'll just recycle everything instead of sell it in an order, because it'd be worth more. But if it's worth like a lot less, maybe not. All right, move the sofa into here. Can I fit it in this way? Because they don't care how it goes in as long as it's in there. Oh, I didn't move that hat. Luckily it didn't break. And in there, I mean, you weren't very specific about the job. I'll take the extra 135 bucks for that. Every game now has a menu instead of going out of whatever you're in. I really wish they'd stop doing that. It should be, if you're in a menu, an option like this and you hit escape, it should close out. And then if you hit escape again, it should bring up that menu. Because you're escaping whatever you're in. Can't escape reality, I've tried. They just make logical sense, that's how it would work. I don't know why there's a loud sound whenever you've got a truck full of stuff. Oh hey, it did actually put the van there. Nice. There's the old free candy van. Now I've got the new bigger one. I don't like the placement of the side, the logo there. This one much better because it's right across the side. Free candy, and yes, that is an alien. Don't ask questions, you know what it's about. Complete that job, get the cash money. And now you can put them on there and then try to sell them, but I'm kind of curious. This is a common, isn't it? I'm just going to exit out of the day. It's 50 bucks for that one. Actually, I might get rid of all the commons over here. Nah, screw it. I'll total the price when I'm done. I'll keep the chair. I have plenty of space for that. So they do get in the way sometimes. The only downside of this van is it doesn't have a door on this side. For getting stuff out, you can't. Before I was grabbing the recycling and just dumping it like that. It has a door on this side, but you can't access that door from here. It's blocked. You can only access it from the job site. And I just realized it's a pain in the ass. I have to go all the way around there to close the door. And we'll dump the premium table on here as well. Close the door just out of habit. So I have 150, 250, 550. Alright, 550 in recycling. I'm intentionally going to end the day now. I did finish that job, right? Yep. I want to finish the day. Gasoline and rent. Ah. I didn't get anything for recycling those. You only get recycling for destroyed items, which kind of makes me think that I should just destroy everything. Anything at all. Don't disassemble it, just demolish it. Because I seem to make more money that way most of the time. I make like $1,000, $2,000 out of a house every time I destroy one of the tiny little houses. That's actually way better than having to collect the items and try to sell them later. Yeah, it's a perfect game for me. I'm very destructive. But yeah, these aren't worth it. These are heavy, so they're not usually worth it. And most of the orders are just like fucking 6 bricks, you know. I have to carry those to the van every time, so that's not really worth it either. The wood's a pain in the ass, but it's free. Even if I destroy everything, the wood still stays behind unless I purposely hit it with a hammer. Because you can break an entire house, like, not the brick ones because I don't have any wood in them, but any of the wood houses, you can break them down completely. You lose the chunky thick beams, which is why I only have the planks and the short beams. These 2 different short beams. You can get a tall beam as well. You lose those because I hit those instead of cutting them out. I just smash them with the hammer. But then all the wood in between, this wood here, that's the top, that's the bottom and that's the top part, I think, or maybe it's the other way around. And these are the in-between parts between the chunky, what do they call them? Between the beams, there's the planks. So I get those, and I get those even if I destroy the entire house, because they just fall on the ground. And then after you pick up all the rubble, they're still sitting on the ground. You can just pick them up. But they're a pain in the ass. Like, you have to pick up everyone individually. You can only carry a certain amount. You can carry more planks than you can beams. You have to bring them back and store them correctly. There's no auto sort. You have to manually put them into the right slot. But it does tell you, like, I can't put them in this slot sort of thing. And then when you're like, you can't, if they really want to make this more effective for like selling, you should be able to bundle these together. So you should be able to like collect a bunch of these and then wrap them up or something along those lines. Maybe not collect them. Maybe you can just from this item say how much you want to wrap up, and then you pick that up as an item like you would this, carry it to the truck and put it in. Be way quicker than having to grab them out individually and only be able to carry so many sort of thing. Because I've had it where there probably is some orders there. That's like, 25 planks or whatever. See if I can find one. There's full brick pallets, 8 of them. I ain't carrying 8 around. It's not worth it, especially for like, oh, that's actually pretty good. Normally it's a lot less than that. And the wood ones, there's not going to be one now, is there? Nope. The wood ones aren't really worth it either. Wood in this game is not worth anywhere near like real life. And having to carry 20 of them over there at like 6 at a time, like this thing here, I think you only carry 4. Nope. Oh, they changed that. You couldn't carry that many before. You now carry 8. Maybe someone had like made a big stink about it. But if you mix them too, is like, that's the annoying thing, is if you mix them, you've got to put them back in order. You can't just like drop all of the same type in a section. That'd be good if you could like pick up one of those, and one of those, and then when I dump it in here, it puts all of them in there. And all of those in there at the same time, just to save the time of having to sort. There's too much micromanaging of inventory here. And if you're playing the standard game and not relaxed, it's stressful to have to deal with that. Relaxed is not a big deal. I don't care how long it takes me to go through these items, because technically the worst I have to deal with is a bit of darkness. But in a standard game, which is why I stopped playing the standard, doing the orders were kind of a pain in the ass, because it took too long to organize things. I got to the point where I was taking stuff out from a job and just dumping it on the ground from the van, and then going back and picking up more stuff, because I wanted to get everything into the warehouse I could in time. But then I realized that if it's stuff sitting on the floor when the day ends, you lose it all. It just gets destroyed. So it wasn't worth trying to rush it anymore. That's why I moved to relaxed. It was just easier. And far less stressful. Anyway, I'm going to swap over to Roadcraft now. That was a fun little quick job. And I will say that's a pretty good game for like quickly hopping into it and then just doing a part of a job or a whole job quickly in between games. I don't know if I will play it for a long period on stream anymore, just because it does get a bit repetitive. The same gameplay loop is a bit eh. Even though there are new buildings, there's not that many buildings. You get kind of bored of them quickly. But either way, I'm going to take my break now and then jump into some Roadcraft DLC. Hopefully you'll join me for that. Let's do that now, shall we?